Hi everyone and welcome to day 6. Today I'm going to talk about sweeteners a little bit. And before I do that, as usual, please subscribe to the channel, like the video and share it with anyone you know who might benefit from quitting sugar. I would really appreciate that. So, sweeteners. I used to be quite a heavy user of stevia and erythritol in combination because stevia is great, but the taste isn't perfect. But when you combine the two, it tastes quite nice. And I used to use that in my bulletproof coffee or egg coffee that I had in the morning. But also when I was doing the ketogenic diet for years, I used to use both of them for my low carb treats. So I would bake, keto brownies or whatever, using almond flour and other things that really isn't that great for you. So non-caloric sweeteners aren't supposed to raise blood sugar or insulin, and these both are non-caloric and they worked fine for me, I think. So they work fine with regards to keeping sugar out of my life, so I didn't actually eat the sugar. But I never really got rid of my cravings because I kept feeding this sweet tooth. I kept giving myself or giving into my cravings after dinner most days. So I would go and bake a keto brownie, whatever, and then I would just sit there and overeat on that until I was quite full. So in terms of keeping my blood sugar fairly stable, it probably worked quite well, but I was still constantly having these thoughts about sugar or treats, food, things that I can eat. And I was thinking, keto brownies are fine, but they're not the real deal. And you just keep perpetuating that, and you stay in that sort of mindset that you want to keep eating treats. And I wouldn't say that that is a good thing to do, because you're just going to keep spinning in your head and thinking about all the things that you want to eat, and it's all about food, and it's exhausting, frankly. So yeah, I kept just giving in to my cravings, and whenever I would go off the keto diet, which would happen every now and then, not too often, but if I was ever allowing me to get, eat normally and actually go and eat real sugar, what would happen is that I would just eat much, much more than I used to do in the past, because for once I got to actually eat the real thing, and I just started binging on it almost. I wouldn't classify myself as a binge eater, but having gone from eating a moderate amount of sweets pretty much every day, going keto, not eating it, and then going back, it was like, okay, I haven't had this for a while. I'm just gonna have to fill up, because at some point I'm gonna go back to being keto and won't be able to have it again. And I was just stuffing myself. So I wouldn't recommend that to anyone. One thing I want you to keep in mind as well is that even non-caloric sweeteners can raise your blood glucose, can raise your insulin, not your blood glucose. So what happens is that when you get the sweet taste on your tongue, your body anticipates sugar or a rise in blood sugar, and it will release insulin. The insulin will then store the blood glucose that you have, which is hopefully at a normal and desirable level. So that will drop, and then you will get hungry, you will get cravings, you will get cranky, all of those things, and you're just gonna want and need to eat now. So it's going to increase your cravings, and you're probably going to overeat on whatever it is that you're eating, whether that's be food or any sweet stuff. So if you react that way on sweeteners, I would stay away from them. I think this is one of the things with diet sodas that they have shown to actually people who want to lose weight that do a lot of diet soda, they gain weight, and that is because it increases their hunger for other things that actually contain energy. There are sweeteners like xylitol, for example. They are not non-caloric. They will raise blood sugar in everyone who's eating them to some degree, and that will raise the insulin and so on. So you will get energy from them. It's not as much as sugar, but just be aware of that. You have non-caloric artificial sweeteners, and you have caloric ones like xylitol, for example. So by consuming sweeteners, you basically get the opposite effect of what you want. Because you want to take them because you don't want to eat sugar, and you might be wanting to lose weight, you want to get rid of your cravings, all of those things, but they are just some sort of band-aid that do not work. And in terms of cravings and the ferocity of them, I think they have the opposite effect in the end. So my advice would be, do not use any sweeteners at all. If you're ever going, now you're doing 30 days without sugar, I would rather you stay away from sweeteners during these 30 days, but also after. And after these 30 days, if you decide to, I don't want to eat sugar, but I do want to have something sweet, I would rather see you actually planning for it and have a little bit of sweets and then just go back into it. I think that is healthier for you in general, rather than buying all these sodas and other things that are full of sweeteners. So my recommendation would be, stay off all artificial sweeteners, stay off all sugar, and get rid of that rewarding habit that you have, rewarding yourself with the sweet taste. That is something that needs to be addressed. That is the problem that you want to get rid of in order to actually quit them all. So I think that was all for today. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you again tomorrow.